Bhagavate Ramakrishna. Om, salutations to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Topic today is Dream On by popular demand. Well, let's proceed. And before we can proceed pinch yourself to see if you're awake or no. No, I'm serious. And, well, you've heard, even if you're awake, well, there are some who would like to grab a notebook. I'm packing a lot of things inside. And we all have heard this, the rhyme. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. So yeah. Get your dream catchers on and we'll catch some aspects of this dream. We will be looking at two things. Dreams and the dreamer. Obviously, wherever there is a dream, there has to be a dreamer. In the Upanishads, we find a passage. There are no chariots, nor animals to be yoked to the chariot, no roads. But the person creates the chariots, creates the animals to be yoked, and creates the road. There are no pleasures, no joy or delights, but he creates the pleasures and joys and delights. There are no pools or tanks or rivers there, but he creates the pools and tanks and rivers. For he is the agent, for he is the doer. Now this is a very significant, you can say, passage. And an entire chapter of the Upanishads, of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, goes into the finer points of what is the dream and what is the dreamer. So here we get an inkling for the person, the dreamer is the doer, the karta. So he karta. The Sanskrit is a beautiful set. Na rata yoga, na panta, srijate rata yoga panta, etc. Dreams is not a new phenomena. We all know. It predates human societies and civilization, obviously. But from the very earliest times, every culture has tried to understand the state. Okay. Now, through oral traditions, through folk tales, through various kind of stories, even the scriptures, sacred scriptures, have tried to dwell and find out the truth behind it. We find in all scriptures, we find there are prophets or something like that dreaming, and the dream has to be interpreted, and etc. So even today, in the field of psychology and parapsychology, they're trying to interpret dreams. There are many cultures that have actually built themselves around this dream state. In some Pacific islands, you find entire cultures around the state of dreams. Today, that infantile stage of humanity, if we may say so, is still with us in a way. Dreams are big business. It's in art and literature, in movies. Some of you must have seen the movie Inception. Oh, yeah. I haven't, of course, but I get the idea. That where a thief steals corporate secrets by using dream sharing technology. We have apps, we can share apps and all, transmitter. The dream sharing technology. Wonderful insight. So it has been in society. If this dream state was not essential, evolution wouldn't have designed it in the very first place. So it's there. It is part of the human mind and the body-mind complex. So it's there. We've got to deal with it. So some dreams come true. Some dreams are premonitions. Some dreams are precognitions. Some dreams are just fancies. Some dreams have a tremendous impact on our lives. Some dreams are troubling. Some dreams are sweet. For instance, Swamiji had a dream when he was young. He saw a sage chanting the Vedas in a style distinct from what it is chanted today. And that sage was on the banks of the river Saraswati in northwest India. And as he was listening to this chant, he chanted along with that sage. And when the dream broke, he kept on chanting. And he says, maybe Shankaracharya also had a similar kind of dream where he caught the national cadence, the Vedic, you can say, secrets. And it's obvious that Swamiji also caught that national cadence, the Vedic, you can say, traditions, which he then preached to the world. So he got it from that state. Okay. Why do we remember some dreams and why do we forget some dreams? I'll go through a few points here. One theory states that remembrance of a dream is a reconstruction of many disparate images. And they are coalesced. So the neocortex strings out a supposedly coherent form. The neocortex is responsible for this kind of coherence. Another theory says dream memory is stored in a separate folder. And after you wake up, we forget. I think it's just 10 or 15 minutes. Some dreams have a lasting impact, they remain. But generally, we forget dreams after a few minutes of waking. And maybe you're showering and you see something. And it evokes a memory. That subliminal or even conscious, you can say, perception of an object awakens a dream memory there. This is the researchers posit that it could be something like you have the feeling of déjà vu. So though those dream memories are in a separate folder, deep down in your subconscious, they have an impact on your day-to-day life. There is another theory the chemistry of the sleeping brain, the dreaming brain, is radically different from the chemistry of the waking state. So, neurons are firing at random. Some are dilated, some are contracted, some are distorted, and some are contradictory images. So this is also one reason why we remember some dreams or we forget some dreams. In many species, you find half the brain sleeps while half the brain stays awake. This is designed for survival. It could be that the dreaming brain is that half awake brain. Half of it is sleeping, half of it is awake. The old psychology proposed that dreams are nothing but wish fulfillment. Repressed desires or wishes come out in dream form. And this dreams also, they are not confined, wish fulfillment, not confined only to the state of dreams, but also in the state of daydreamings. Researchers find that the default mode of the mind is to daydream. Yeah, if you're not paying attention, your brain daydreams. It's just that. Okay, so here we come. Wish fulfillment can occur in dreams, of course, and also in symptoms of neurosis, psychotics, hallucinations. But interpreting these dreams, you got to do it in a very indirect way to recognize the wish. Some researchers in neurology find no fundamental difference between the waking state and the dream state. Here we are. And that's why I asked you to pinch yourself to see if you're awake. At times in the waking state, we are in a kind of a la-la land. It's a kind of a dream-like, euphoric, and energetic state where you're caught in a kind of a haze. Well, here we are. It takes us away from the harsher realities of life. We say now the guy is sitting down, he's in la-la land. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Some dreams are full of terror and they spill out subconsciously in our waking state, and there is a kind of a underlying stress in our brains and in our bodies because of that underlying dream or the images that you've seen, the nightmares. The brain, the workings of the brain can also be seen in the various waves, alpha, beta, theta, etc. The dreaming brain, is between 4 and 8 hertz, where the slow, lazy, dream-like waves come. It's a kind of a hallucinatory state. So there is another proposition. We dream to keep our brains working. Dreams are technically called rapid eye movement. When you sleep and when you dream, your eyeballs are running all over the place. If your eyes were large enough, the eyeballs would go all over the place. Thank God they are only constrained by the size of the eye. It's rapidly moving about under your eyelids as if you're seeing something. The temperature of the body slightly rises. Your heartbeat starts increasing. This is a rapid eye movement state, which is called a dream state. Okay. The body is paralyzed for obvious reasons. You should not work out your dreams, otherwise you're getting into trouble. But there are the phenomena associated with somnambulism, sleepwalking. And when the person is awakened gently or led back, or the person returns back to the bed, the person does not have any memory of what happened. Yes, it's a remarkable thing. A person might go to his piano, play the piano, come back and sleep and not remember what a person is. Nowadays we have cameras, you can catch to you guys. Okay. The dream state is governed by the limbic system. And that's the emotional side. That's the ancient brain. We have the reptilian brain, then the limbic system, that old, and then we have the neocortex. The brain is divided into three parts. The oldest, the middle-aged, and the newest, evolutionary speaking. So in this, the cortex is kind of asleep. So is functioning, but it does not influence the limbic brain. And because there is no conscience there is no rigid sense of the self, the limbic system throws out all these huge fears and images that it has been harboring in its recesses. We dream to remember. Yes. In the waking brain, it's too busy to do the housekeeping. The housekeeping is left for a time when you go to sleep, when you dream, where the things are categorized according to their types. Because there's a huge input coming in, and the brain has to be alert with these conscious inputs. So memory is consolidated in dream state. Some say that dreams could be nothing but a kind of a screensaver. You know, in the old days we had these screensavers that used to float about on the screen of the computer. That is, while the real working is going on behind. Okay. So we dream to forget. Many things that we have got into, that clutter that has come in, needs to be excised, needs to get out. This happens in dreams. We dream to rehearse. Yes, certain things that we've taken in keep on looping around the mind. That's rehearsal for you. We dream to heal. Oh yeah. These growth hormones are released in sleep. They help you heal the body. So dreams is important. We dream to solve problems. You go to bed with some problems and you wake up at times with a solution. Yeah. Like, there is a classical story of Augusto Kekule. He dreamed of a snake, biting its tail. And then he got an idea of a benzene molecule. That's it. So we dream to solve problems also. We dream for being creative. A lot of imagery that is seen is trying to push itself in the waking state. So a famous example is Salvador Dali. You see his portraits of even huge pictures, like kind of a dream-like quality of things. Lack of dreams signals mood disorders or post-traumatic stress disorders. It's a bad sign. When you use alcohol or drugs or whatever, it suppresses the dream, the rapid eye movement state. But once you go off alcohol or drugs, then the rapid eye movement period comes back with a vengeance. All these old images come with a real force, and you see frightening things and images and all these things. So you just can't curb dreaming. Okay. When you are old or feeble or on certain psychedelic drugs, it's very difficult for you to comprehend that this is the waking state, this is the dream state. Oh yeah, you can, if any one of you has got some experience, we all experience it. That's why I asked you to pinch yourself. Dreams, when you are doing spiritual practices, are of a different quality. When you see the dreams of gods or goddesses, which Ramakrishna says are real. Now this is a complete new dimension. Why are some dreams unreal? Why are some dreams real? Especially spiritual. People get a mantra in dreams. They get instructions in dreams. There's a the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He relates a dream to Sri Ramakrishna, where he sees he's in a boat and the water has covered the whole earth. Everywhere there's water. The whole earth is inundated. And he sees a person, a Brahmin, walking on the water. And he says, wait, I'll come. Don't go, I'll come along with you. Where are you going? So I'm going to Bhavanipur. That's the city of the Divine Mother. So that person, the Brahmin says, well, I'm going ahead. You can follow me. But how are you walking on this water? Well, there's a bridge under this water there. You can use it. And then Sri Ramakrishna was thrilled listening, saying, you get initiated quickly. Now, there is one particular culture that has spent a tremendous amount of time on understanding dreams, and that is in Tibetan Buddhism. They said you have two compartments of the mind. One is the principal mind or the monkey mind. This is the monkey mind. And we have something called the wisdom mind or the Buddha mind. Okay, I think this is clear. So the former, that is the monkey mind, is unstable. The Buddha mind is stable. So you have again dreams of two classes. Dreams based on your karma and dreams based on wisdom. There's a further classification. They say that dreams can relate to your past life or your present life. All the higher intuitions, all the wisdom that you get in dreams, or they say, this Buddha mind is not limited only to the dreaming state. It is present with you all the time. And they give examples of you get wisdom even when you are awake. In the dream state, when the wisdom mind is aware and awake and operating, you get something called the lucid dreams. And these lucid dreams in the waking state also can be translated into higher intuitions. So this is the Buddha mind operating. The different types of dreams that you get, they say, every object in this world is made up of the 5 great elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, in different combinations and permutations. One generally predominates our personalities. So depending on which element predominates in your personality at a particular time, you will get that particular dream, because these elements come in touch with one's consciousness. This is how. Yeah, there are some people who are very earthy types. There are some people who are very airy types. You can see there are very people that are flighty, as you say. There are some who are fiery. These are the various components in our personality, the basic substances coming in touch with your consciousness. Okay. So this combination of the body and the mind complex, it's a huge, elaborate field. I won't go into this. It depends on your past karma. Okay. So dreams from the wisdom mind gives us an insight into your past as well as your future. It does not happen in the monkey mind. Okay. So as I said, there you get visions of gods and goddesses and everything that's spiritual and sublime. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we find the Master saying, do you dream? Do you dream of a flame, a lighted torch, a married woman, a cremation ground? It is good to dream such things. So one of his disciples, Purna, says, I dreamt of you. You were seated and telling me something. So the Master says, what? Some instructions? Tell me of it. So Purna says, I don't remember, like all of us. Sri Ramakrishna says, oh, never mind. But it is good. You will make progress. This is what. So certain things, he saw Sri Ramakrishna in his dream. And that is indicative of spiritual progress. Okay. And in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you get various examples. Like he speaks about a farmer who was childless for many, many years, and finally they were both blessed with children, one child, and the child grew up and, they had, as they say, apple of their eyes, and the child dies, and the mother is kind of shattered. She's weeping and weeping and weeping. And we find the husband unmoved. And she says, how heartless you are. You not even shed a drop of tears. So, last night I dreamt I was a king and I had 5 children and they princes, and they were all growing up. And then the dream broke. Now, why should I mourn for those 5, or should I mourn for this one? I don't know. So Sri Ramakrishna says that he was a Jnani farmer. That is, a person who has attained to knowledge. When a person attains to knowledge, the waking and the dream state appear just similar. Now, Swamiji proposed, and it's a tremendous proposition. In fact, religion starts saying with two ancient streams of thought. One is ancestor worship. We see some people die and we wonder what happened. Oh, probably they've gone to some place and they inter it. The burial, the rituals, all this was nothing but part of that ancestor worship. Grave goods and the things that a person liked were all deposited. He's going on a kind of a journey. So ancestor worship and nature worship. What are these powerful forces? The thunder, the lightning. And these are stupendous forces. There must be some power behind them. This became the nature worship. These two streams are found in all religions. They may say all these kind of things, but you'll find this two elements in all religions. Swamiji says, these two elements can be combined or harmonized on a third level. He's saying that's a struggle to transcend the senses. A person dies, where that person gone, they want to know. And that is trying to get knowledge which is beyond the senses. What are the forces of nature? They are something which the senses cannot grasp. And they want to grasp that. So this struggle to transcend the senses is the actual element where all the religions began. Every religion. And it's not only we have religion or you have religion. No. Every culture has religion because of this struggle to transcend the senses. And he's saying the first glimpse of this struggle to transcend the senses comes in the state of dreams. When we know that we are lying down apparently dead, but the mind keeps on working. Isn't it a wonderful state? Swami Vivekananda says, children and untutored minds find no difference between the waking and the dream state. Yes. So the first glimpse of trying to transcend the senses comes in the dream states. They get in. But then Swami Vivekananda continues, but when they woke up, they found that the dream and the reality, waking reality, did not gel. But the search had begun. And the search now was internal. And that's why all Eastern religions have this internal element. You got to go inside to understand religion, to understand who you are. You see all the statues of gods or goddesses, mostly, all the saints. Take the statue of Buddha. He's not going around with the eyes open looking at the skies. No. That Buddha or the Vivekananda or Ramakrishna, they have gone deep inside. This is future humanity. Go inside. You don't look up at the skies. It's just a sky up there. So this is Swami Vivekananda says, this is the beginning of religion. Isn't it wonderful? Now these two states, the waking and the dream, okay, they are kind of separate, but as I said, we are going to speak about a dreamer as well. And the Upanishads give a wonderful illustration, like a great fish swimming from one bank to another. Great fish is unobstructed, can swim between two banks. So does this infinite being move to the states of dream and waking. Note the word, this infinite being. Now, What? Yeah, it transits between these two things because these EEG waves in the mind, whether they're alpha, they're beta, or theta, or gamma, whatever, they are states of the mind. So your dream state is a state of consciousness. Your waking state is the state of consciousness. You get the idea. Now comes the fine tuning, saying, how does that person transit? That dreamer. How does that person transit? So he's saying, in that person are the nerves called hita. Now nerves, and we're not talking about the gross nerves. We're talking about something called the subtle nerves called nadis. Nadis because you can hear the sound nad inside him. So these are very fine astral tubes, if you may. Saying like a hair split into 1,000 parts, so are these fine nerves. They're stretched like a kind of a fishnet all over the body. And they are filled with white and blue and brown and red. The translator says serums. These are the seat of the subtle body, where all the past impressions, past karma are stored. Well, then the Upanishad continues. When the person dreams as if he is being killed or overpowered or being pursued by an elephant or falling into a pit, in short, conjuring up at that time through ignorance the terrible things that a person has experienced in the waking state, that is the dream state. The person conjures up all these things. As I said, he creates, he is a creator, he karta, he is the doer. And then, in the higher states of dreams, as it were, they say, and then he becomes a god, as it were, a king, as it were, and thinks, this universe is myself, that I am all this. This is his highest state. This is the state of the dreamer. Yes, I mean, if you look at it, it has a tremendous, you can say, significance in trying to understand your real nature. You might seem puny and stupid and you can say nondescript and useless, but no, there's something within you that's great. It's a mass of consciousness. The Upanishad says, all see his sports, none sees him. And then he's saying, don't wake up a person dreaming quickly, suddenly. Because then the person comes, he might not find the proper channels of the sense organs, and they're saying it is difficult to doctor. Some others say that the dream state is only a recapitulation of the waking state. The Upanishad continues, but that is wrong. Says, the very fact that this dreamer is here, in the dream state, the person becomes the light. Ayam Purusha Swayam Jyotir Bhavati. The Yajnavalkya tells the King Janaka. In this state, the person becomes the light of consciousness, which is a topic for another talk. Okay. But here, the Upanishad is very clear that what you see in the dream state is a recapitulation of your waking state is partially correct. But the very fact that the dream, the real nature of consciousness can transit between these two states as well as the third, the dream state, shows that it is separate entity. It's not bound to either of these states. Another Upanishad says, having realized the great all-pervading Atman, through which a person perceives the objects in both the dream and the waking state, a wise person does not grieve. Yes, once you can understand the nature of the dreamer, that the dreamer is a mass of consciousness, nothing can ever touch you. This whole world is, as Vedanta says, swapnavat, dream-like, like a dream. It's not a dream, it's likened to a dream. Many people think, oh, this is a dream. No, it is like a dream. It is also said, when you have a dream, you have to have a dreamer. And the dreamer, the ordinary dreamer, that is the individual ear, which is seeing all these various things, is intimately connected to the dream. The dream and the dreamer are both dreams in the highest levels of Vedanta. Because the individual is nothing but a part of the universal, or the individual is but a reflection of the universal. So as the physicists say, the wave function collapses the moment you bring in an observer that is conscious or consciousness, collapses the wave function. Physicists love to use that. You can use that same illustration. The dream and the ordinary dreamer collapse. And what remains is that universal mass of consciousness. This is the dream. So dream on and on and on and on. Just remember about the dreamer. We are too focused. We are too objectified. We need to subjectify ourselves now. And if you can do that, you will understand the real nature of the real consciousness behind the dreams and the dreamer. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Yeah. Yes, Stafford.
Greetings. Is there any karmic residue to your actions taken in dreams? I'm assuming there is not, but I'm not sure of that.
Well, in the state of dreams, you mean?
Yes. You dream, you do something violent to another being in your dream. Is there any karmic residue?
No. You can relax.
Well, just take it a step further. If you did the same thing in your mind in a waking state, would there be a karmic residue?
Yes.
So
Yes.
why is there a difference?
Because of the ego. The ego in this waking state takes it everything. This is, I am the doer. While in that waking state, you are just a kind of a witness.
Dream state.
Yeah, dream state. The sense of self is kind of very nebulous. So your principal mind or the monkey mind recapitulates some of the things that you have already seen. And some of those things which you have done in the waking state, if they are horrible, they will come to haunt you, as they say. Yeah. So you've already done something there. And if you do good things in the waking state, you recapitulate all the good things and you have sweet dreams.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to go into this other area because it's a big one, but it's always seemed to me that the dream state was not one state, but a multiplicity of non-physical experiences that we all kind of lump together.
Oh yeah, I kind of mentioned that the neocortex kind of it strings out random images and tries to kind of make into some kind of coherence. So that's what actually happens. So this is kind of a state which you have no control. Yes, you can. In Tibetan Buddhism and also the practice of lucid dreaming, you can control dreams.
But shamanism is all about controlling dreams.
Yeah. So this is practiced by the Buddhist as, there are some who are naturals who can lucidly dream and control dreams also. So like that movie Inception, kind of dream sharing technology. You share dreams and then you enter into that person's subconscious mind and get all that stuff out. But these concepts are wonderful. Thank you for the question.
Wonderful talk, very thought-provoking. But one of the things that I was wondering, that aspirants like us, who are in the beginning stages of the spiritual journey, they also have dreams, all kinds of dreams, but can those dreams analyze that there is any progress being made, or is just a monkey mind?
Yeah, you can gauge your own the character of your subconscious mind through what you see there. So yeah, you can. It's more subjective, but the moment you start getting, spiritual dreams, that is an indication of things are moving out in the right direction. Or you are moving in the right direction. So the best thing you could do is in the waking state, keep on being spiritual. So you get spiritual dreams. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have come to the end of our QA also.